Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing today? It's kind of bright. All right. Let me see. Okay, so yeah, we're just talking about what we often reject in our lives. That's sort of who we what become once we accept it. So, if you're accepting, who you are, your name, there are parts of your name you probably don't like, parts of your being you probably don't like. You're imperfect. You're saying to yourself, why didn't I have a different name? But for some of you, God gave you your name. Sometimes God will give you a new name. But the idea was you had to accept who you are. Anything you probably rejected in your life, you probably are. So you can't be afraid of what you rejected in your life, because it's who God created you to be. So if you have a name that has power, the anointing is going to unlock that power. It's going to give you a new set of tools to use. So don't reject any part of yourself again. But there are going to be some things in your life that before you came here that you were and that you just chose not to have. And so this part again for you in creation is to understand, you know, like the masculine and feminine energies were considered the sun and the moon. And we're looking at El, the creator, is the imagination. So these are the combinations of what really forms you in the womb. You're basically a seed planted in the higher heaven. So that seed again being planted up. So when we say the root of David, David wrote down, he wrote down Yeshua. He wrote down his name, and so he had to write him down. That's why we call him again. He's from the root of him, because David had planted the seed. He had been the first one really to plant the seed of who Yeshua is on a piece of paper. Sort of like that is the expression of who we are. It's sort of the expression of the word. It's the expression of prophecy, of the thoughts. We can create those, and they can be planted up from a higher level, and we know who we are. So the idea was, again, a lot of things we reject in our lives, again, once we accept them, we become it. So I can reject the sun, but a part of me is the sun. Part of me is the lion. I can reject the lion, but it's who I am. So it's some of those things where internal self, again, is what is also creating you, because the creator had created you to create yourself in a way where you wouldn't understand, but it's your mind trying to perceive this all as it creates reality. But if you reject a prophet like Paul, or you reject Moses or Ishmael, if you reject those names, you shall sort of become them without realizing. Like, let's say you reject Paul's teaching, you start persecuting Christians. It's some of those simple things, like, or if your name is Ishmael and you have to move away basically from your home, or if your name is all sorts of other things, you become sort of that name that's been given to you by God. This is a reality created by the imaginator. So I want you to think, as you might reject a Hebrew name like Yeshua when your name is Joshua, but you realize that you act a lot like Yeshua. But you're not going to get a big head. It's just when you're operating under the will of God, you're doing his commandments, doing his teachings, you're going to actually find out that you've been aligned your whole entire life to live like those exact people. And when you start to change, you have a renewed mind, you'll find who you actually are. So the very things that you hate about yourself, your name, if your name is Cora or Rebecca or Stephanie, any person, like those are your beings. But you're going to realize that once you have been operating under the will of God, you will be given a new name. God is writing the story right now. In fact, pretty much everything I just said is either alluded to in the Bible or has been directly said. Being given a new name, basically, when you're operating under the will of God. So you look at the name, again, Yeshua, my salvation, also translating to Joshua. You can't reject these things. You can't reject the sun and all this stuff. But El is the creator, because even, Israel, we acknowledge these things. Gabriel, Raphael, people, these are names of archangels. You have these capabilities, these qualities about you. These are you're part of your luminaries, things shining into the night. You need to know that God is real. All right, many people don't know this. They don't acknowledge it. But in your everyday, he's always there. You might reject the word, but then you are the word. You become the word. So it's one of those things where anything that is rejected in your life, anything that you reject in your life, anything that you've rejected in your life, you shall become your highest self, your best self. You will become that once you accept that who you are, because you'll be given a new name. You understand? You understand that God doesn't make mistakes, not even one. El doesn't make mistakes. The Creator doesn't make mistakes. Do you know who the Creator is? Now, you say, I'm the Creator, but I am, He is, becomes a we are, becomes I am. It's not I am, we are, He is. But I will say, because at first it goes He is, then a we are, then I am. Or really, just the He is, I am, we are. But I'm trying to explain that we are all special and important to God, to rule as kings and queens, and He will be our King of kings. Do you understand? He'll be our Prince of princes. For my little children, you'll be the princess. All right? So even if I'm talking about isn't real, it is real because I speak it, because it can be imagined, it can be thought of. I can create it. I'm not afraid to say I can create it because the Creator has allowed me to create it. So you must think about every single little thing that you say, every single word that you say, every single word that you've read, every single curse. Read the blessings. Say the blessings, only the blessings. Read only them, or it be drawn unto you. So that's what I'm trying to say. That's the secret for everything. So all of it is real. Any curse I've said, I let go, because blessed are they that love God. You see, they'll love the word and they'll love each other. That's the only thing. You can't surrender loving the word and loving each other. These are two things that are the commandments. They are the commandments morphed into one, to the commandments, because you can't like love a God that you've never seen and hate your brother that you see every single day. You cannot do that, man. You see, and it's in my name because it activated it. Some of you don't have a name that's actually really special for your life. It might be manifesting bad stuff for your life, but your name has an activation for the entire universe. And you can't break that, all right? So shine your light. Shine your light through God's will over your life. All right, bless everyone watching this video.